Olá, pessoal. Aqui é o Richard Santos falando da Moreira International, diretamente da cidade do Doral, aqui no sul da Flórida. Hoje eu tenho dois convidados super especiais. Um grande amigo meu, Dr. Hélio Kenji Hirata, que teve o trabalho e foi o gestor de negócios de levar um grande convidado que está presente aqui, que é o Charlie Joe, ex-policial da SWAT, do Departamento de Polícia de Los Angeles. E eles vão estar falando aqui sobre o que aconteceu nesse grande evento, na terceira edição de SHOT Fair, que aconteceu em Santa Catarina, semanas atrás. E vocês vão escutar diretamente do gestor financeiro e do Charlie Joe, que no momento está em São Bernardino, na Califórnia. Eu vou trazer a vocês aqui o Hélio Hirata. Tudo bem, doutor Hirata?
Tudo bem.
Ótimo.
É um prazer aqui estar no seu canal aqui. E é a primeira vez, né, Richard? E eu agradeço aí a sua atenção, né? E eu vou passar então as informações aí para todos, né?
Excelente.
Sobre o evento.
Doutor Hirata, nós sabemos que você foi o responsável, foi o gestor de negócios da ida do Charles Joe para o SHOT Fair. Eu me lembro quando você comentou comigo, você falou do teu sonho, a gente tem que acreditar no nosso sonho, e assim você fez. Como é que, e hoje você o representa no Brasil, como é que foi esse elo? Como é que começou? O que aconteceu em Joinville com com a ida do Charlie Joe para lá? O que você pode falar dentro da tua experiência, da tua visão?
Bom, eu primeiramente estava acompanhando a situação do país, né? Todas essas mudanças, toda. Então, o que eu fiz? Eu peguei e fui acompanhando. E no momento que eu percebi que ia ter uma grande feira, uma feira em Joinville, chamado SHOT Fair Brasil, eu comecei a perceber que seria a importância de poder convidar o Mr. Charlie Joe para essa parte da feira, né? O que eu fiz? Eu peguei, entrei em contato com o organizador, o Mauro Braga, conversando com ele, expliquei para ele, olha, seu Mauro, essa feira tem uma suma importância, traz muito benefício, né? Tem a representação da Taurus, né? E o que o senhor acha? Como tem muita abertura, tem um canal forte aí no Sul, e tem participação de policiais, né? O pessoal da segurança pública. O senhor gostaria de ter um convidado, uma participação com um representante da Califórnia? E os organizadores pediram o currículo do Charles. Eu peguei e apresentei. Então, eles conseguiram encaixá-lo numa abertura para ele participar especialmente, né? Porque tinham outros palestrantes e ele conseguiu, seu Mauro encaixou e deu tudo certo. Eu consegui também ter abertura para ele poder chegar em Joinville, né?
Fantástico, fantástico. Doutor Hirata, eu sei que você morou na Califórnia, você tem um lado do coração voltado para os militares, para a polícia especialmente. Eu sei que o LAPD, o Departamento de Polícia de Los Angeles, é muito forte com você. E o que você pode falar o que representou, não só para você, mas para os brasileiros, levar um ex-policial da SWAT, do LAPD, para o Brasil? O que você pode falar?
Sim, eu já não sou mais um garoto, né? Não sou mais um menino, né? E no momento que a SHOT Fair conferiu que a ida do Charles estava garantida, estava tudo ok. O sonho é o seguinte, eu acho que na minha idade, né? Quem tem os seus 50, 60, 70, né? O Richard, não podemos esquecer do filme, né? Da SWAT.
That's right.
Dos movimentos todos. Então, o que aconteceu? Eu senti mesmo que a SWAT ia vir para o Brasil. A LAPD. Primeira vez no Brasil.
Ótimo,
então,
parabéns.
Eu juntei tudo e eu acompanhei a chegada do Charles em São Paulo, no aeroporto. Fui encontrá-lo. Levei aos departamentos da Polícia Militar, da Polícia Civil do Estado de São Paulo, né? E também da Guarda Municipal em Osasco.
Ótimo.
Já viam a chegada dele, né?
Ótimo,
Então,
ótimo.
foi uma coisa triunfal mesmo.
Excelente, é fantástica. E tendo o Charles Joe sendo da SWAT, como você pode descrever a maneira que os brasileiros o receberam?
Olha, foi dividir realmente muita emoção, porque é um órgão de 56 anos, é uma instituição, é uma entidade, né, respeitada. E sendo a primeira vez, ô Richard, eu acompanhei. Por exemplo, quando ele chegou em São Paulo, que seria antes da feira de Joinville, então, tanto os policiais como os delegados, os coronéis, com todo respeito, né, recebeu ele. Então, eu senti exatamente o que é uma instituição, né?
Exato,
E
exato.
chegando em Joinville, aí misturou a parte já de entidade, né? Da parte de instituição, com as pessoas que gostam mesmo da SWAT, né?
Exatamente, exatamente.
Então, deu tudo
Você
certo,
fez
foi tudo
parte,
bem
doutor
esclarecido.
Hirata, você fez parte do momento histórico brasileiro, da polícia brasileira,
Foi,
tá? E você viveu durante esses dias. E
foi.
qual a perspectiva que você vê dentro que você presenciou, participou, de intercâmbio dos departamentos de polícia, da cooperação de polícia das cidades para Los Angeles? Como é que você sentiu isso? Quais são as perspectivas que você vê daqui para frente?
Após esse encontro com policial militar, policial civil, guarda civil, quer dizer, são todas as hierarquias dentro da Constituição Federal, e a chegada do Charles em Joinville, que eu acompanhei, né, foi realmente acima do que eu esperava, né? Porque o pessoal já sabia, né, que ia chegar um agente da SWAT, né, de Los Angeles.
Excelente.
Ele deu a palestra. Terminando a palestra, tinham as pessoas querendo tirar foto.
Uau, imagino.
E, além disso, tem a polícia militar, quer dizer, eu consegui apresentá-lo para a cúpula, comandante da Polícia Militar de Santa Catarina, e a Polícia Civil também, delegado responsável, que é o COR, né, Divisão
Excelente.
de Santa Catarina, que acabou recebendo ele. Então, em
Excelente.
Santa Catarina, e aonde ele passou, ele deixou realmente
Deixou a marca.
a marca.
Excelente. Foi um fato histórico.
Foi.
Pessoal, vocês estão vendo aí o posicionamento do Dr. Hirata. Agora eu vou passar um rápido vídeo da Tricell USA, que é a empresa do Charles Joe. É um vídeo muito curto, de 1 minuto e 47, e eu vou voltar de imediato para ele. Vamos compartilhar essa tela agora, share screen, e olha que vídeo bacana.
Hi, my name is Charles. I'm the owner and CEO of Tricell USA, as well as a co-founder for Route 66 Shooting Sports Bar. Tricell USA was created about 4 or 5 years ago to provide
Tem legenda, viu?
local law enforcement.
Desculpa, tem legenda, viu, Richard?
Tactically, firearms, as well as other disciplines that are specific to their craft. At Tricell USA, we have instructors that are still active or recently retired from a full-time SWAT team. The disciplines that we have crafted range from firearms instructors, snipers, explosive breachers, negotiators, as well as combat divers. Some of the things may not apply to the civilian sectors, but a wide range of difference. Vital and critical practical information that team members here at Tricell USA have experienced in dealing from real-world crisis situations. So my background comes from law enforcement. I've got 24 and some change in law enforcement, former LAPD. With the last 12 years of service in SWAT team. Average about 120 critical instances a year, ranging from barricades to high-risk warrant services, and even hostage rescues. So here at Route 66 Shooting Sports Park, I oversee training from the basic entry-level pistol all the way to intermediate and advanced pistol and cart, especially for law enforcement. Tricell USA's instructors come from a wide range of experience. They're all full-time and newly retired SWAT operatives. We are very excited to offer all these classes backed by years and years of experience.
Yeah. Congratulations, Charlie.
Thank you. Thank you very much for having me.
This is amazing footage. Tricel USA. This is a man that for thousands and thousands of people, there is no need of introduction. Now in Brazil and United States. Charlie Joe, thank you very much, Charlie. Not just for, what you did in Brazil and what you have done here in the United States. And I'm so glad and feel honored to have you over here and talk to me and talk to my dear friend, Dr. Hirata. And I have some question for you as well, Charlie. Before you go any details about your job done at SHOT Fair, after all said and done, how was your experience in Brazil? Tell us all about it. How was that?
I would say with one word, I can say wonderful, all around. This was my first time ever coming down to South America.
Wow.
And what a perfect country to make that introduction is Brazil. Everybody was so welcoming. Everybody was so friendly, and there was nothing I could say about the trip that really was a negative. It was so, everyone tried so hard, even when I had a little technical difficulty at the SHOT Fair with the translator, everybody wanted to help. In the audience, they came out, and a good friend ended up taking over and helping the translation. And it just made the whole experience very, very pleasant and wonderful. So I, tip my hat off to the country, to the people, making my first visit very, very memorable and a wonderful one.
That's very good. So, and what about the caipirinha and feijoada? How was that? I know that you tasted the very famous caipirinha. How was that?
Yes, all my friends before, when they heard that I was going to Brazil, they used to live in Brazil. They grew up in Brazil. Said, if you go, these are the things that you have to try, because that's our, country's signature drink and food, and it was wonderful. It was amazing.
That's very true, man. Actually, I miss it. It's very good. We try to have something here in Miami, but I don't know. It's not the same. It's not the same. Charlie, introduce yourself. Give us a little bio, who you are, where you come from, what you have done lately. What your company, what Tricel USA does today in San Bernardino, California. Feel free. Give us a little bio.
Sure. I would love to introduce myself, my background to your audience. Before I started my career in law enforcement, I was a counselor, teacher, social worker at high schools. And so right out of college, I had no military experience. I wanted to be a businessman. So I didn't know what really came natural was to become a guidance counselor and a teacher at high school. I did that for 6 years while I ran 2 martial arts studios. I opened up 2 studios, and that was pretty much my life. I was pretty busy, and but there's something not quite fulfilling. So a good friend of mine who was in the finance department called me one day and said, "Let's join the police department." And I said, "That is an amazing idea. Let's do it. Let's do it." And I gave the job 2 weeks notice. I sold my studios and I started the academy. 4 months later, I joined the academy and never looked back. And I did my career. I did patrol. I did training division. I was a training officer. I did the mounted unit. I rode horses for a year and a half, and I got the lucky fortune to make the selection to get into SWAT. So my class in SWAT in 2008, 150 people applied all throughout the department, and 6 people got selected after everything was done. And I was very fortunate that I got to do that.
That's very good. Charlie, going back to the video that we just saw, what we saw over there. Tell us about it, what we saw in that video.
So what really got me excited to retire when I did was the opportunities that I had to continue and share my experience with the rest of the world. So I started a training company called Tricel USA, and we do firearms training, tactical training, and we do corporate presentations and security. So at that time, I was approached by my two business partners currently that they wanted me to be a part of this shooting range that they're developing. So I took a look at it and I said, what a wonderful, amazing opportunity, perfect time in my career, my life. And I became part of that, the business. And the business is 100 acres of land that we develop, half to service the public. So
That's
the
very
public
good.
gets to rent out private bays and rent guns and shoot and have a good time. And then there's a backside, another 50 acres that I took it upon myself to train outside police agencies, international police, and develop a really high level tactical training center. So
Okay.
that is what the video is. We now are branching out and doing a lot of training, and that ended up me coming to Brazil, and hopefully many more times again in the
You
future.
will. You will, for sure. And the last question is this, Charlie. We know that the Constitution of the United States of America, it is an example around the globe, and today it's very clear to all of us that the First Amendment, the freedom of speech, and the second one, the right of people to keep and bear arms, are under attack. There is no other way to say. The first two amendments of the Constitution, I mean, wherever you go, people are talking about it, under attack. What can you say, according to your experience, what, not just Americans and Brazilians, what people do not understand about the right to keep and bear arms? What people do not understand about it?
Well, I think what a lot of people forget is that right, especially those first two amendments, is the Constitution is, we believe, and I truly believe, it's a God-given right.
Amen to that.
No man can take that away. So the right to express, freedom of expression, and there are some restrictions to that. I can't walk into a crowded movie theater and yell fire. That's not complete freedom of speech. If I call to action for someone to hurt somebody, that's not freedom of speech. But everything else, my opinion, how I think, should not be restricted, and that's a God-given right. And the reason why number 2 is so important, and they put it in number 2, is because the ability for someone to defend themselves, be able to arm themselves and to defend themselves properly, that's also a God-given right. And I think we know that the government, they sometimes try to take on that responsibility, but that's, with crime on the rise. And I, as a police officer for 25 years, I tell citizens, you cannot rely and trust the police will get there on time every time.
That's
because
very
they're
true.
so busy.
That's very true.
So you have to have some sort of awareness, some sort of ability to protect yourself, your family, and your homestead. So those are, I believe, strong. And it's such a delicate right, meaning you can be 1 or 2 votes away from getting that taken away.
That's very true.
I can look at examples of Australia, Canada, a lot of these countries that say they're a democracy, but they took away firearms from their country. And, we can debate all day, but the outcome is, and I think even inside the United States, there are 50 states, handful, that are governed by the government in that 50 states that are anti-guns, and then there's some states that are pro-guns and support the Second Amendment. And I'll let the crime rates speak for themselves on those states. So
very well said. Yeah, very well said. You're right, man. At the moment that we are living right now is very sensitive regarding to these 2 amendments, and you have to believe the best is yet to come. Charlie, I really appreciate your precious time. I really do. On behalf of Elio, all the Brazilians, all the country that welcome you, and we hope to see you again on the next Shot Fair edition. Questions? How Brazilians can contact you?
Yes. You can contact me through my Instagram page, which is at tricellusa or at tricellusa, or on my website, which is www.tricellusa.com. And we have contact information. You can direct message me through that. And I love reading all your comments. You can make sure when you do look us up on Instagram to follow and like. We have some postings that we just put up from our recent trip to Brazil, and we had such a great time. We look forward to doing many more collaborations with me going there, our team, or bringing Brazilians to my range. And we are excited about a lot of the future collaborations that we have. So please reach out and follow our page.
Amen to that. One more time. I'm going to speak right now in Portuguese, ok? Pessoal, todos os dados do Charlie vai estar aqui na descrição do vídeo, assim como do Dr. Hélio Hirata também vai estar no vídeo para qualquer contato. E como sempre eu faço, eu vou fechar abençoando a vida de vocês. Não se turbe o vosso coração. Saiba que o melhor está por vir e virá. Que o Deus de esperança enche a tua vida, a tua casa de paz e graça. E Deus te abençoe e Deus te guarde. O meu muito obrigado e até o próximo vídeo.